Okay, welcome. So we are going to be getting started here. And my goal for this training is to help us understand what virtual parties are kind of turning into and where they're at currently. It's the end of January 2019 when this recording is being done. And so we know that Facebook changes a lot. And so who knows, in another month, I might need to be doing another one of these to tell you guys some of the best tips and tricks. But my friend Melody Harper, you guys know, if you go to conference, we do our team events and things like that. Carol Radu is our national executive director, and Melody Harper is like a sister director on that team. She's also an executive. I mean, we do a lot of things together and just kind of brainstorm and things like that. And we were talking about virtual parties and stuff, and she was talking about this training that she did. And then she shared the recording that she had, and I loved it because I knew what she was doing was she was doing like experiments basically on what Facebook is doing and what it looks like for the guest or the host. And I loved it because she shared the recording with me, and I asked her, I said, oh my gosh, this is great. Can I share the first 10 minutes of your recording for my team training? She said, of course, that's why I shared it. So what we're going to watch here is we're going to watch Melody doing her team training, but she shares a lot of screen shots and things that are going to show you what it looks like when you're going into when a guest is entering a virtual party and what happens if they do not do the things that we need them to do. And so what I want you guys to take away from this is, here's the deal. I'm keenly aware that some people are like, well, man, when I first signed up for Pampered Chef and did parties, I just copy and pasted and I didn't pay attention to anything and money was just thrown at me. Okay, well, that was great. And that probably didn't work super permanently. But yes, 2 years ago, for the most part, before the changes with Facebook and before virtual parties really became even that popular, it was really easy to just copy and paste and sales kind of happened. We have to be really intentional and actually be doing the things that we're supposed to do in order to be getting those same results. So like, guys, for the most part, I didn't have any cooking shows this month. Well, I guess I kind of did I made some donuts for some old people where the guy who was in charge of them bought some stuff. I don't super qualify that as a cooking show. But everything else I did this month was virtual, and my month still looks the way that I expected my month to look. And it's because I'm doing a lot of these things, and some of these things I'm like, ooh, this is why I for sure need to be consistent with it. Okay. So we are going to be looking at that. I'm going to show it to you. I encourage you, if you have a notebook and a pen, take notes, or if you're on your computer, take notes on your phone, do something, because some of these things you're going to be like, oh. And I'm keenly aware some of you are going to say, yeah, that sounds like a little bit more work. I'm not going to do it. That's fine, but do not whine at us about why no one sees your posts and why your host parties aren't qualifying or whatever. Okay, I expect every party that I do to qualify. Every single one. I know sometimes they won't because the host will basically cancel on me. Like I had one person give me the runaround 45 times about how they couldn't get anyone in their party. And I'm like, you have 3 people in there. You're not doing what I'm telling you to do. She's a cancellation. As soon as I knew she was giving me the runaround, she's marked off and I'm moving on. But if that party is actually happening, it's going to qualify, and it's going to be because I'm doing a lot of these things. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. This is going to be, I think, really, really important. Again, I would encourage you, if you are in a place where you can show your video, I think that sometimes that just kind of helps some of our training atmosphere, but we are adults, so I will never force you to do so. But it is always a nice way for us to be able to see faces. And same thing, even when we look back on the recordings, it just gives us a little bit more of, instead of us just staring at 2 faces or just me. And then we're going to have a lot of chance to be able to ask questions and just kind of see some of the things that you've seen, but I just think that this is super valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to watch this video for a few minutes together from my friend Miss Melody. Where did I already? Okay, hold on, because I'm like I already had it pulled up.
Okay. All right. So we.
Melody, hold on. We're getting started right here. Okay. I want to make sure that I am, in fact, recording. Yep. You guys should be able to hear and see everything.
The first thing that I want to share with you, can you guys see this right here? Okay. Okay. Tony messaged me on Monday morning and said, hey, can you please join my party and take pictures of what you see? So I said, okay, I can do that. So when we are having our hosts send the link to a party, so that their guests can join. I want to show you the breakdown of what is going on and what they are seeing right now, okay? So when Tony sent me this link, if I clicked, you know when in the paragraph that you message out, if you click on the wording on the actual link, it sends you to this page right here where you click right on join group, okay? If I clicked on the bottom, you know, the bottom where it just says join group, if I clicked on that, this is what pops up. Request, see at the bottom where it says request sent? Okay, so as soon as I clicked on that, it says request sent. Okay, so then once that request is sent, Tony immediately she got a notification that someone had joined the party that she had to approve. So she approved it, and then immediately it said, your request to join Sue's online party has been approved. So this notification came up immediately on my notification as soon as she approved me. Now you can post and comment in this group. Okay, so they are getting a notification when they have been approved, and they now are getting the information that they can post and comment in that group. Okay, so at that time, now they are officially a member at that point. Okay, so what happens, Tony did 3 different things for me. She added me to one party, and I did nothing. I didn't click join. I didn't click anything. I just didn't do anything with the party. The second party that she sent me to, I clicked on this right here. Okay, so do you see this? This is so important, guys. Okay, and I'm going to show you the graphic that Tony made in just a second. When I am added to this party, do you see which one is clicked on check mark? Automatically, when our guests are added to these parties, they are set in the highlight friends post and suggested posts. Automatically. They are not on all posts. Why is this a big deal, okay? This is a big deal because when this happens, if their friend, who would be the host, if the host is not commenting on these posts, they're not seeing them. Or suggested posts, most likely, are the ones that have a lot of participation. How do you know the host? The guessing games, the ones that keep getting pushed to the top. Those are the suggested posts. So they may see those, but they're not seeing a lot of the other ones. So those of you that are saying, I have no participation, no one's ordering, no one's playing games, I'm going to ask you, is your host commenting on the posts? Okay, because that's how they are going to see it. If they're not seeing this stuff. You're not their friend. The host is their friend. Okay, so this is a really big deal. Now, so on one of the ones that she sent me, I kept on highlights. Another party she added me to, I went in and switched it to all posts immediately. Okay, so we had 3 different variations here. One I didn't accept, one I changed it to all posts, and one I left it at highlights. Okay, so here's what we kind of noticed. As I was scrolling through Facebook, I noticed the one that I did all posts was actually popping up in my news feed. Okay, the one that I did highlights, I would get notifications for some of them in my notifications. The all post one, I got multiple notifications because, multiple times. Okay, so, and then the one I didn't join at all, I obviously saw absolutely nothing. Okay, so later on, I told Tony to add me to the one that I didn't click anything on. And I told her to add me and see what happens. Okay, so when she added me, it went into the invited. I got a notification that I was added to this party, and I became an invited. Okay, so once you click the join, that's when, and so when I got the notification that I had been invited to this party, then I clicked on it, and it immediately took me over to the page of the party. Okay, and it just took me there. Okay, so when I clicked on the notification that I'd been added to a party, it just took me over to that page. And then I became a member. Okay, so that breaks it down a little bit of what is going on in the invited, okay, versus, so if you see here, see how it says members 25, okay, and then we have, like on her page here, oh, not that one. One of them here says, it just said members 25 underneath the top of the page. That one may not have pulled over. Okay, so I showed you that one already. Okay, so see these people right here? This was in my party. These are the people that were under invited. And it says at the top, these people have been invited to join the group, but have not yet accepted. They've been approved and are currently in preview mode. Okay? So these people did not click that they wanted to join the group. So they're basically just sitting there. So what I told my host is I had them, now your host, when I asked my host to go and click on the ones that had been invited and send them a message, she said, mine doesn't say invited, it says preview. So I think on the host end, since they were not an administrator, it says preview. The people that are in preview mode, they can see. Okay, so I had her go in and send messages to some of these that were in preview mode that they weren't officially added to the party yet. Now this one only had 4. One of my other ones had like 20. Okay, so those people, she went in and she privately messaged. Okay, so Tony came up with this graphic right here that if you are on your phone, okay, if you go up to the top of the page and click the I, okay, then it's going to come up member share group notifications, and then they change it to all posts. What I did in this party currently is I did this on Sunday night, which is the last night of my pre-post, the night before the party started. I posted this graphic in the party and I tagged everyone that was a member. So my parties had 50, 30, 32, and 25 in them this week. Okay? So when I tagged them, all of the ones that had accepted and joined and were members, it tags them. So when I posted this picture Sunday night, I got a lot of comments, done, 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 done. Okay, which means they actually went in and changed their notifications so that they could see all posts. Okay, on this post in particular, you could do giveaways for it. You can say, I don't care if you say add 50 tickets if you click all posts, okay? Whatever you want to post on there to get people to change their notifications, that is a huge part of your party success, is if they can actually see the posts, okay? So I wanted to share some of this with you because I really felt like it was really important for you guys to see, okay? So another thing, what I want to share with you now is some of the things that I have been doing in my parties, and I'm going to break it down by days for you, okay? So does this make sense as far as what we are seeing and the importance of changing it to all notifications, okay? Yes, Tony, go ahead.
I was telling my girls earlier that we, as consultants, need to change our notifications too.
Yes.
Even though we create it, it still sets us the highlights as well.
It absolutely does. I noticed that earlier when I was like, where did that post go? Why am I not seeing that post? It's because my personal were not set to all notifications. Okay. So if you're going back trying to look for a post and you're like, I don't know where it went, be sure that yours is on all notifications too. That's super important. Okay. I'm going to stop share screen for a minute.
Hey, Melody.
Yes.
That screen that you were just showing that Tony made, is that going to be available?
Yes. Yes.
I'll
share that graphic with you for sure.
Rock on.
Melody, I've got a question too.
Yes.
When you were doing the different groups, when you were clicking on Tony's stuff, were you using your computer or your phone?
Both.
Okay.
I looked at what it looked like from both ends.
Okay.
Now,
and you have the app on your phone for Facebook, or were you? Okay, good.
Yep. That was from what I was screenshotting. What you guys saw right there was me actually on my phone screenshotting what she said. So because I wanted the real picture of, because 95% of the people when they look at the posts are probably going to be, they're probably going to be on the phone. Okay. So I wanted what that looked like, but I did check because she asked me, well, what does it look like from your computer? So I'd go in and look on my computer, and then I look back at my phone, because I wanted the real view of what they were truly seeing. So it was pretty eye-opening. The only thing that I have not figured out, and if any of you have figured this out, jump in and let me know. The one thing that I have not figured out is I asked my host, and I said, did you click the add button at all? Or did you only send people the link to the party? And she said, I only sent them the link. I didn't add anyone. So I'm not really sure why these people are in invited mode or in preview mode if they never actually clicked join. Tony, do you know the answer to that?
Well, I know when they are using the message we send them and forwarding it in Messenger, because you'll get those requests to join.
Right.
If they're just hitting the invite button, they're not sending a request to join. Does that make sense? The add button in the party.
Can you say that again, Tony?
Yeah.
If you are sending them the message, to forward to their friends in Messenger, they are sending you a request to join when they click on join group. Right. So if they, and you'll get a notification to approve. So if the host is just hitting like the invite or add button that's in the party, like when you're in there, you're not going to get a notification to approve.
Correct. But what my question is my host didn't use the add button at all. All she sent was personal messages on Facebook, but some of them went into the invited column and some of them went into the member column when all she sent was the link. And that's the problem I'm trying to figure out is what makes you invite, like how does Facebook just know that they invited them and put them in there? Like how do they know when all they were sent was a link? How are they in preview mode is what I'm confused about.
Were they invited by the host or someone else?
They're invited by the host, but it was invited by the link where they have to click join.
No, I mean, whenever you look at who's in the invited column, does it have the host name on it?
Yes.
Okay.
I think what happens is that instead of hitting, like you saw, or when you screenshot at the bottom, it says join group. So a lot of people hit that. Instead of hitting that, they hit the actual link at the top of the picture, and that is just view mode versus requesting automatically to join the group.
But when I clicked that link, because that's what I screenshotted first, when I clicked that link, it took you to the next page that said join group. So do you think what those people may do is hit the link and then don't hit join group?
Right.
Okay.
That's what I think is happening too, because that's what I'm seeing in my party that I've got going on right now. They invited something like 100 people, or they added 100 people. They sent them the link, and probably 75 of them are in preview mode. And I had her talk to a few of them, And what they did is instead of clicking join, they clicked on the link, and I think put them in preview mode.
And then didn't ever click that join. So that was that page where I clicked the link the first time to see what happened instead of the join at the bottom. And it basically took me to that next page that said join now.
Yeah.
So if they don't click that join now on that page, I'm guessing that's where they're put in preview mode. So that's the part that I was trying to figure out, is how these people end up in preview mode when they're only being invited by a link. So
now I do have a question. Are you always getting some type of notifications you have to approve members? Because I never do.
Yes, I am.
Since this change, I have not had to approve a single member.
Sometimes I don't get one. You just have to go into your parties, and it will tell you at the very top you have a member request.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
all of my members,
one, but it's no big deal. Just go to your parties and look for them.
Well, no, and I check that because I'm always worried that I've missed somebody. But everybody, as soon as they click join, they're automatically added. No request for approval at all.
Hey, Mel.
Yes.
Do you think maybe rather than doing the share button and sharing to our messenger, if we copied it, there's a way to copy the link, which then only gives the URL. And
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just do the share.
Oh, see, I do not have them add. I don't have them add people at all. I just am only messaging people the link now.
But there's two different ways of doing it, is what I'm saying. You can go in there and you can click share, which shares it to their messenger, and it pops up the picture you're showing, where it's got the picture and the join down below.
Right.
Or you can copy it, which then when you take it over there and post it, I think it's only the extended letters and numbers instead of the picture. Does that make sense?
I always copy my link. I never share it. I always copy it and send it to my host and messenger, and it always puts the picture on there.
Yes.
Because all mine right now that I just started, all of them are in invited, but it's not showing them in preview mode at all.
It does not say preview mode on my end. It says preview mode on my host end. It says invited on my end.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just see it in the invited column. Now, when we were in Oklahoma, I did find everybody in preview.
So when you switch states to what's preview.
Melody?
Yes.
Melody. I went in and did a post on this last party I'm doing now, which, yay, we hit 800. Anyway, I went in on her wall and I told everybody that they have the invitations, and I also posted her link, and I said, you have to click join in order to be able to see all the posts. And I've gotten quite a few extras. We started at like 28 people in the group. We ended up with almost 70 people because they didn't know to click join.
Yeah. Which that's where our host coaching comes in. I'm going to get that to just that in a second. So I'll answer more questions at the end, but I want to move into a couple more things now before we do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So on so here is, I'm going to give you a rundown of a few things that I have learned that have made a huge difference in my parties. My last week's party ended up at almost $900, and all of my parties that I'm running this week were qualified by the second day, and I have 4 parties running right now, and they were qualified by, day 2, almost right away. So here's a few things that I have changed. And so the first thing is I start my parties, and I know this is different across the board, okay? But I start my parties on pre-post on Saturday and Sunday, and then my party post on Monday through Friday. So on Thursday, I am basically I'm setting up all of my parties for the week. And then I am on Friday adding my host. I have learned not to add my host on Thursday because they don't listen. And I tell them to add on Friday, and they start adding on Thursday, and people start immediately participating. And I don't want them in there a couple days before we start. I only want them in there a day before we start. So I add my host on Friday, and they start adding their people, okay? On Saturday is when my pre-post start. The thing that I have learned is on Sunday, okay, so that's the second day of pre-post for me, is when I send that graphic to change their notifications, because at that point, most of them are in the party, and I have figured out who really is in there, how many people are in there, and what we've got going on, okay? So the second night of pre-post is when that graphic that I just showed you guys that Tony made is when I put it in there, okay? Something that I am changing is on Monday. So this is the first day of my party. My party is starting, so whatever day that is for you. I'm going to start having my host post the game. And the reason I'm going to have the host post the game is why we just saw. Not everyone is going to change those notifications. They are waiting for friends' posts to show up. Well, I would love for the very first post to be one from their friend that they can see. So I'm going to send that first post to my host to have her post it and to keep track of, and comment on the games that day. Okay, because that way interaction started, and I can feel like people are actually in there that are going to be in there because she's the one that is posting it. Okay, so I'll post a game on that day, and I'll post a game on Tuesday. Okay, I'll do the game on Tuesday. On Wednesday, so this is the third day of my party, this is the day that I have games where people send me the answers. Okay, if you did not see my post on Team PC Hotshots today, I went on there and said, this is a prime example of why I have people send me answers. So it was something that, it was a question like, name a pear-shaped fruit or pear-shaped, I think it said vegetable, I can't remember what it says, but it's one of the, ask a question and then they have to guess, whatever the answer is. Well, on that one in particular, it says, message me the answer and then comment below when you've done it, and you get 2 points for commenting below and 10 points for messaging me your answer. So what I do with that post is when they message me the answer, avocado, I say, yay, you got it. Did you post below in the event as well, in the party? And they messaged back and said, yes, I posted in there too. Because I want them to post done in the party, because that's where people are going to see and get notifications that someone is commenting. So I want that to stay alive too. Okay? So I want that post to keep getting notifications so more people know to message me. I probably got 20, 25 messages the other day. Okay, so this was yesterday. They sent me avocado. I sent them back, did you post, on the page as well? They said, yes, I did. And then I said to them, thank you so much for your participation in this party. It really means a lot, and I really do appreciate, you taking the time to message me. And then most of them had really good responses back. You are so welcome. You guys could see the one that responded back to me. But the reason I do that is because that is how I start conversation with these guests. Now, and it says, now you can have conversations in Messenger. Yay. So now when I send these people a message, it doesn't go to this weird mailbox where they can't see what I sent them because we're not friends. We have a conversation started, okay? So there you can see how the interaction. So today's Thursday. This is the day before my last day, okay? So since my party ends on Friday, this morning, okay, I have the host do the game again. And the reason I have them do it on Thursday is because Thursday is when I try to get bookings. I want to go in and I want to see the most interaction in my party as possible, so I know who is still engaged, who is still involved, and who wants to be here. And I'm going to get that the best by my host posting the game. Okay? So she posted the game, and then I went through, and first I started with the people that personally messaged me yesterday. Immediately, because that was easy for me. I went right to my messenger and started messaging right away those people I'd already started communication with. Okay, I got answers of no, but thanks so much for thinking of me. It's been a great party. I got answers of not right now. I'm currently in 3 other parties and all my friends that are on all of them, so maybe hit me up later. I got some yeses, okay? I got a wide variety of answers when I messaged these people today, okay? But so far, I have got 5 parties booked just from the ones that I sent today already. So personally, messaging these people is super important. Having your host post on Thursday, okay? Oh, I forgot. Something else I do on Wednesday is my Ask Me About the Business post, okay? So that is on my Wednesday too, or your 3rd day in, or somewhere in the middle, once they trust you, basically. I do it not at the beginning, but more towards the end, kind of right in the middle, because they are establishing a little bit of trust with me where they feel like they could ask me questions about the business. Okay? So I do that on Wednesday, so that way I can personally message those people that respond on that post as well. Okay? Now, tomorrow is my last day. So tomorrow, this morning, here, let me show, this is the post that I did this morning on my pages. Okay, so 2 days left. You have 2 days left to get your order in. Tomorrow's the last day of the party. Right now, Joanna's party is $400 from its goal, so she can get double free this month. So $650 is my goal for every single host this week, okay? So please hop on. Let's have help our amazing host hit this goal. She also is 2 bookings away from getting a free gift from me. Woohoo, here's the link to order, okay? So this kind of wraps up where we're at right now, and I did that with every one of my parties, okay? So that is going to help the people know. They don't even know probably where the party's at this point. I mean, they don't, necessarily know. So I give an update of our host goal and where they're at and how many bookings they got so far. And I'd use the snowman post that says when you get a booking, we have one snowman appears, 2 snowmans appears, and 3 snowman appears, okay? So that, I use that post as well. Tomorrow, I will have my host personally message and text message their people in the party that have joined. Okay, so if they are members, okay, they chose to be there. Okay, so I'm going to assume, they wanted to be there. So if they want to text other people that are not inside the party, great. Today I was talking with some of my hosts. They were talking about some outside orders they got from work and stuff. Okay, but I want them to personally message and make sure everyone knows that's the last day of the party. Okay, so that is kind of the things that I have done. Oh, one other thing. That's why I had my Facebook pulled up. On Monday night, okay, so this is on Monday night, and I had it written down in front of me and I didn't say it. Okay, on Monday night, I'm going to go into this party, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my Facebook. I'm going to clear out these. There's my booking right there. I've got February 5th or 9th open, or the 10th. Boom. She said sometime this spring, by the way. I was thinking about having a party this spring. What openings do you have? Well, technically February isn't spring, but do you think I was going to go for March when I don't have my February booked how I want? Nope. So I was talking about the stoneware, and then I also talk about how I can give her double free if we host that party before the 15th of February. So see how I slid that in there? There she answered. I could have said, well, she wants the spring, so let me give her my March or April. No, I want to book my February still. Okay, so That's a party right there. All right, so I clicked out of, let me go to, all right, so this is one of the parties I have going. So there we go. On Monday, okay, look over here to this side and draw. All right, do you guys see right here? And this is what I want you to pay close attention to. It says you have 48 new members this week. Write a post to welcome them. And then it says write post where it tags all of those members in there. So on Monday, I'm going to write a post and I'm going to welcome all of our members because by Monday, the first day of the party, they all should be in there. And I want to be sure and welcome them all to the party. Okay, so that is something I'm going to start adding in on Monday night or the first day of the party, whatever day that is. Whether you start like on the 19th of the month or whatever, the first day of the party, I'm going to do that at that night, making sure that I welcome all of them and tag all of them in it. Okay, so those are just a few things that I am doing. Within the party, okay? Now,
okay, so I know that was a lot, but hopefully it was kind of fun to hear somebody else yap that wasn't me. But I just love, she broke it. I love that she had those 3 experiments going on. And here's the deal. How many of you learned something about how Facebook operates? You know, just even being like, oh, like some of the important things. And I have completely changed the way that I do, just like she was saying, I've completely changed how I get people to add in there. When I'm doing my host coaching call, I explain to the host, I mean, in a kind of funny, lighthearted way, like, don't you dare just add people to this group. Don't you do it. Because what's happening is they're all going into preview mode, and it was easy. I'm giving them a message, that message that's on the host coaching script, I'm giving them a message to forward it. I'm just saying that's totally blurry. Hopefully oh my goodness, none of this came up. Sorry guys, it wasn't giving me any of this. Can't read any of this. Okay, I do have some of the graphics to be able to show you. I have the graphics to be able to post it. For some reason, it wasn't pulling up. Was it blurry for everybody or just? Oh, it didn't ever come into focus? That's weird. Usually it takes a couple minutes. Okay, so sorry, but hopefully the words were halfway through. That's why I was like, it shouldn't have taken that long to be able to repost. I know sometimes it gets going through. But because everybody was going, what I was realizing is originally we were having people add the people to the group, and then they should be sending out the 40 VIP messages, hoping that like, hey, it would catch some people and then it would just for sure catch these other people. But what I was realizing is there was no way for me to monitor if the host was doing what I wanted her to do. Whereas if I told her don't add them, they're going to go stand on the front lawn and not even know there's a party in your house. Okay, by having them send out the message and them actually clicking, I know that everybody that is in that party has chosen to go. Kind of like if it was an event and they were RSVP going. They have given kind of like verbal confirmation of, hey, I'm interested. I want to see what's going on. And so once they're in there, that's going to be easier. Plus, then I'm going to be working with a smaller group that are probably going to be more active, and Facebook algorithms like that. If it's a group of 40 to 50 people and like 25 of them are wanting to hang out, and that's like a 50% activity rate, like Facebook likes that and will give people more notifications. Okay, so that is, you know, to me, that's better than, you know, before when we were coaching to add a couple hundred. Now, in order to get that many people in there, you have to send it out to like 100 plus people, okay, because you need them all to be clicking on the going. I've been having my hosts just forward it instead of changing out the name because it's easier, and we need to make this as simple for our hosts as possible. So I've been giving them the link that says, and I'll be updating some of the documents and showing this, but it says like, hey, I'm having a Pampered Chef Facebook party. We're going to be talking about healthy habits. I can't wait for you to join. It should be really fun. Click here to join the group to see what's going on. Okay, and then they should just be able to hit the forward button on Facebook Messenger. Okay, and if you don't know how to do that, ask your director. She should be able to send you a screenshot of something to just be able to send it out. And literally, they should just be able to hit forward, and now it's just as easy as if they were adding people to a group. They're just selecting all the friends, and they can scroll through and send, and it'll send it to everybody. Okay, it all comes as an individual message, and it includes the link in every single one. Easy way to tag all the members without using the welcome new. Okay, so the easiest way to tag all the members without using the welcome new members post is if you go to, I do that from my phone. Like guys, every time I go live on my page, I go live on my personal page because that kind of catches everybody, but I make it public and then I share the link into my parties. So I share and copy the link and then I go into my groups, okay, and I hit, I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on. So like here, let's give an example. I went live tonight showing off my stuff. Okay, so what I do is, so like just on my phone, I'm just going to hit my little share button and it's public. So I know that anybody is going to be able to see it. And then at the bottom, and again, I guess if you don't have an iPhone, it could be different, but at the bottom it says copy link. So then I just hit copy link and then I'm going to go in like here, I've got, what's one of my parties that's finishing up? Who is finishing up tonight? Here. Okay, Heather. Okay, so then I go to my group and then I'm able to just paste it. And it's going to give me the link to my Facebook post that they can go in and watch. And then I typically say something like, hey, check out my dinner tonight. Chicken from Frozen in 20 minutes. And then I've got this little person icon. See that little blue guy? Okay, when I click on the little blue guy, I'm going to be able to tag people and then I can just choose everybody in the party. And because our host is, I mean, I'm coaching my people to get 40 people in there. Most of them are not. But then I can just click on all of them. And then I just posted it and it tagged everyone. Yes, and you can go live on your business page and share it in your parties too, and it'll give you kind of the same option. Honestly, I know I get a lot more traffic on my personal page than I do on my business page, and it's one less thing for me to monitor, which is why I do it on my personal page. And then, so I have not had anybody tell me that they get in Facebook jail from it. So my theory is, here's the deal. If they are... and I just did a 31 party, and I probably forwarded that message to 200 people, and it didn't warn me. And if anybody was going to get yelled at for Facebook jail, it would have been me because of all the different things that I have going on, and it didn't bother me at all. I did have one person try to tell me that it was blocking something, and I was like, somebody either reported that person as spam, you know what I mean? Like they got yelled at by one of their friends, or they didn't follow the instructions the way that they're supposed to. But I found it, but it is so important. Like I love her. So we have some of the outlines and things like that in games, and I'm going to be starting to like filter and get our outlines to hopefully be updated with some of those things. Gotten in Facebook jail for PMs that are all the same. I mean, it's been a really long time since I've even got a warning, but some of that probably has a lot to do with my activity, and I go live a lot, guys. I go live a lot because it's a very organic thing. Facebook loves Facebook Live because of how organic it is. And it's just initiating those relationships, and it's what Facebook likes the best. But guys, getting the notifications and having that go on is really, really important. And so here's the deal. If you are operating your Facebook parties as, oh crud, I forgot to host coach and I forgot to create the party and all sorts of things, and now the party was supposed to start yesterday, so now I just created it and I just rushed my host to get everybody added, and then I've just started the party. This pre-party, like these pre-party portions and this host coaching, Melody Harper, just like I do, we host coach our people on the phone. It is just so much easier to ask them for a 10-minute phone conversation to explain this to them than it will be to try to explain it in Messenger, because they're not going to read it. Okay. But being able to explain to them, hey girl, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how Facebook is working, kind of what your role is going to be. Okay. So being able to say something, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm going to have these posts. There are going to be 2 days I'm going to ask you to post the game. It's just going to be something. I'm going to send you a picture and a copy paste. Here's how we're going to get people into your party, and here's why we're doing it this way. Like, it's so important for her to understand that, because if she doesn't understand that, okay, she's not going to do it. Okay. And if she's not going to do it, and you can tell that right away from, I'm really uncomfortable with that or whatever. And here's what I love about it. I can tell if she lied. My kid's toy just made noise and it freaked me out because I'm like, my children are supposed to be asleep. My husband is not here. What is going on? But this just talked to me. But to be able to know, so like when I had a host that I was like, did you send out all those messages? Or like, cause there's a lot of people in preview mode and we shouldn't have anybody really in preview mode if you messaged it out, because these people should be clicking join. And then she was like, oh, and when I screenshot her, all of the people in preview mode that were basically standing out on the lawn and didn't know the party was going on. Oh, well, if you would have told me that, then I would have done it the way you told me to the first time. My fault. I didn't host coach her on the phone. All I could do is blame myself because I was like, it was my fault. I took the lazy way out. I was rushed. I didn't have my parties lined up the way they should be. And then they didn't get in the way that they should. And then she took the lazy way out because she didn't know. Okay. So we need to make sure that people understand how the notification changes works. And here's what I want you to do right now. If you have the ability to, I want you to go into your directors page and into Goal Crushers right now and check and make sure you are set to all notifications. Okay, go ahead and go in right now because Facebook just changed it. So even if you said, yeah, I did that a while ago, if you didn't do it in the last 2 weeks, it probably switched you to highlights again. Okay, and that might be why you're like, why can't I find that post? My director said she posted something. Trina said she had this in here. Why can't I find the announcement page? Anything like that. If you don't have those notifications changed, then you're probably missing out on a lot of the information. Okay. So just make sure that you guys have that, and it's going to be the same thing. If your host is not doing that, then they've only seen, like when you're looking at your posts and you're wondering, why is it that it's only seen by one? You can still send a reminder. You can only send a reminder once. Okay, like if you see them in, and that's the important thing too. If you are, even though you created the group, it still sets you to highlights. So you need to click and make sure that your notifications say all also, so you don't miss any questions or anything that's going on in your own parties. Okay, you want to know if they're being active or if different things are going on. Okay, what questions do you guys have?
Trina, can you explain that again on how you change that notifications?
I will get you guys the graphic also, but if you go and click on the name of the party, if you click on the name of the party, it will bring you to this page. If you're on your phone, again, this is an iPhone. But then you click more and you can hit edit notifications. And then it's going to bring you to this page. See, so right here, right now, I'm only on highlights. So if I click on all posts, that'll change it so that I get notified every time something is going on in there. Okay, so I clicked on the name of the party, and then I clicked on the edit notification settings, and then I changed it to all posts. But really being able to get that information is really, really important. If I can change it on my computer, it will change it on my phone. It should just change it, like whatever you have with that group. If you change it in one spot, it should change it all over because it's just part of your Facebook account. And Goal Crush, and it was changed. I fixed it and put it back to all. Isn't that crazy, right, Kathy? It was changed on me too, and I was like, people, I made this group. I'm in this group all the time. I obviously want to know what's going on, and it changed me to highlights. Okay, so yeah, that's super important to be able to know. Now, if you are wondering, a Facebook Live in a group is considered a highlight. So if you're worried that not enough people have changed their notifications, going in Facebook Live and explaining it or doing your welcome video or something like that typically will catch some of those people that didn't change it also. If they aren't friend notifications, I don't know. I don't believe so, Lindsay. If they just like something. So you really want to encourage your host to comment. Okay, because if they just like it, they're not gonna see anything. Okay, I'm hoping that was really helpful in the sense of here are the very specific things to do. And I love her, like the way that she is making sure people are starting conversations back and forth. Okay. And there are tons of games in the marketing imagery. If you have not taken the virtual party experience and the cooking show experience training in Pampered Chef University and on Consultants Corner, it is super great. If it's been a while, do a refresher. They're like bite-sized, like 5-minute videos to go through, and it just gives you an idea of like what an experience in a virtual party should look like. If you are not reading the information in a virtual party and understanding what you're supposed to be doing with interacting. But that virtual party experience training is going to really give you the idea of what is your job as a consultant once the party's rolling. Especially if you're a new consultant and your director or your recruiter is running the party for you as far as doing the postings. Like, what is your role? How do you interact with people? What are the types of things that you need to do? But you need to be building relationships and figuring out how does that work on Facebook. Okay, every comment that someone makes, I try to comment back, even if it's just thank you for sharing. Because if they were sitting in my living room or in this host kitchen and we were having a cooking show party and they said, oh my goodness, I love my mix and shop, I wouldn't do this. You wouldn't do that. That's awkward and it's weird. You would say, oh, it's great. What do you use it for? I know, isn't it? It's one of our most popular items. You would say something that encouraged human interaction instead of this awkward thumbs up. A like is the lazy way out. And if you're going, well, I'm shy, I don't know what to say, I don't care. Ask them questions. Get them talking. You are going to validate that they were talking in the first place and encourage them to continue on. And the more commenting and talking and things like that that are going on in the party, the more social it feels, the more interactive it is, the more fun it is, and the more they're going to want to treat you like a human being and not a salesperson. Okay, and that is what you want for your future bookings and for your future teammates. On the welcome friends in the upper right corner that she circled. Yes, I will I believe I have all of her graphics, and so I will post that together to share off. She gave me permission to be able to share. I loved it. I was like, oh my goodness, we've been talking about this forever. And then she did the legwork with some of her directors on her team and was willing to share. But yes, that, like I said, that's just an easy way to be able to, when you click on that and it says welcome new members, it's just going to get everybody in there and it just automatically tags them in this list. Okay. I've done that before, like with that, and even like, hey, don't forget to order. But yes, I tag the entire group all the time. Using my phone and using the app because it's a lot quicker to just select all the names using the little blue guy. So I just looked at a current party and there were 60 members invited, however, 39 members. Do I have the host message those others individually? I would say, so you have basically leeway of saying, okay, so we have, 21 people that haven't clicked join group yet. Maybe create a reminder message. Hey, just wanted to remind you to click join group if you want to see what's going on in my party. And get the link again so that they can have it on. Because again, and the more feedback you can give her, if you can say, hey, Joey, Sandra, Shelly, and, Sam, these 4 people haven't clicked join yet. Send them a reminder message. Okay. Or being able to, hey, these people are looking at the post all the time, but they haven't ordered yet. Make sure that you got them that reminder message at the end. I scheduled a live time for the Q&A questions about our biz, which got a ton of interaction. So that's another idea. Love that. Anytime that you can schedule people so that they know it's coming, okay, is great. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jackie. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you're taking shortcuts or you're not planning far enough in advance and you're wondering why your parties are flopping, like, this is a business. It is a job. Maybe you do it super part-time. That's great. Then you know what? Schedule all your parties for one round. Like, maybe all of your parties are going to be, February 11th or I don't know, what are the days fall? February 3rd through the 10th or February 11th through the 18th or whatever. That's going to be your week of parties. And you're going to put all 3 of them that you want to do for the month in that week. Awesome. Have it scheduled so my host packets have been sent out a week plus ahead of time. I've made my phone call with her. She knows when it's coming. I've got the group set up. We've got pre-posts and we're just rocking it out. And then take the other 2 weeks off to figure out your bookings for the next month and get reset. Okay, just figure out a way to get a system going so that it's not this, oh, well, I didn't have time to send a host packet. I mean, sometimes we book in close because we're trying to finish our month. I mean, if I wanted to, I could do a 2-day virtual party and it could start tomorrow with someone I got a booking from today. if I'm trying to, I mean, but that's like the exception. That should not be how we're currently operating, okay, with being able to get these things going. If you can convince a host that what her job is and that you're going to make it as easy as possible, and you're building that relationship with her and getting her excited about the party, like, she's going to be much more apt to be able to do these things for you. And because the people are interacting, she's going to be much more apt to continue doing the things. And asked her to send them the private message. Her reply was not real nice. Ouch, her party barely. So, like, Rita was something like that. She took the lazy way out. She's mad that you pointed it out, and she is not going to get anything for free. And then she's going to be like, see, these parties never work. Okay, you know what? Your diet doesn't ever work because you're eating 15 chocolate bars too. Like, this is how the world operates. You got to figure some stuff out. There are certain ways to make things successful. And there is, guys, I'm not going to say every house is going to be this rock star and do all these things. You're going to have that host that is just refusing to do it, but you don't just keep beating the dead horse. Go find someone else that's going to get you to your goal. Okay, like the host that I have that keeps arguing with me about how, it must be getting me an error. I don't know how. There aren't more people in it. Okay, it's not like, I'm not worried about that. Like, there's only so many times that I'm going to give her an instruction and have her basically kind of fib back to me about why it didn't work. Okay, like, that's not worth my time. You mean 15 chocolate? It's not how the keto diet works, but you can have 15 slices of bacon. And I think you can have dark chocolate. I don't know. You can have a bunch of things. I had some cheesecake yesterday. It's fine. Took a couple bites. I didn't have the cheesecake pieces. Just took a couple bites. I had these cookie things that I made for my kids' party. Oh my gosh, they tasted like s'mores. They were so good. I had 3 of them. But it was fine. It was okay. Okay, does that make sense? I'm going to go ahead and have us kind of finish up here. I will upload the recording. So if you have a teammate that does not have availability, I'm hoping that YouTube gets through my recording up fast. But just keep posted on what is going on. Connect with your director, connect with your hosts, doing some of these strategies, specifically how you are getting your host to add people, getting them to understand the notifications change, and then getting your host to interact and tagging people. Okay, are 3 really, really big ways to kind of combat what's happening with Facebook. Okay, and to be able to be working towards those bookings and getting those things done for you. Okay, all right, I will share resources later. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for spending time tonight. I know that your time is valuable. Okay, bye, friends.